welcome back to our Star Citizen podcast. I'm Logic, and this is Obsessite.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about all the latest developments in the Star Citizen universe, mostly about the last two ATVs and a little bit about the happy hour. So this is going to be a big Item 2.0 discussion, I think. You want to say anything?
I'm going to wait until we get to that ATV, and then I'll reserve my comments for then. But Item 2.0 is massive.
It is.
Goes without saying.
Nuts. Like the happy hour just went into massive detail about how much integration and sort of like the modular system with the code. You can take one bit of code from one chip, plug it into another one, it works fine. And sort of that sort of like mass like sort of adaptable coding, so that you can save so much time when you're building these ships later on.
Exactly. It's fundamental to the whole thing.
It is. Been talking about it for years. But anyway, let's start with where is it? Let's start with eclipsing the competition. So that was the 2 weeks ago, ATV from Frankfurt, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't remember what this one was mostly about. What was this one about?
They had the big ship shape for the Eclipse in it. And then there was the Frankfurt update to start off with, where they were telling they're up to 74 people now.
Yeah. Sean Tracy, that guy's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good that they switch it. This was quite interesting, this bit where they were talking about the human combat sprint that they're doing at the moment. Sprint being code sprint, for those not familiar with the term. Basically trying to make it all work. And if you'll notice in a minute, there's another character at the back behind the three that are crouched in a minute, and you'll see that red box. He's saying that I can't shoot because someone's in the way.
Yeah, this is basically AI stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. I like the extra animations, like the guy, like looking around the edge of the wall when you see it from the other perspective in a minute.
No, it's good.
Quite good.
It's nice to see some AI in action. I think this is, one of the first AIs I've seen in sort of like computer AI for the gun style.
Yeah, exactly. The gunplay looks brilliant, and the AI that flight with you in Squadron 42 should be pretty believable, judging from that anyway.
Well, it's different. The Arena Commander AI has been around for ages, but this is the first time I think I've seen like ground combat AI, which is nice. Seems like they're finally making some progress on their game. So sort of like moving into things that are sort of mid to end of the development process. They're less about the tech now, more about the sort of just grinding out the generic like animations and art, and less so about the sort of like groundbreaking tech that they need to do, which is nice.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this bit was where they were showing the AI module. In this case, it's actually controlling that turret. And they did mention for the first time the possibility of using the AI modules in multi-crew,
Nice.
which would give flexibility to people who want to fly about in their constellation, for example, on their own, but plug in AI modules to run the turrets. So, yeah.
No, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm really looking forward to like Olisar having turrets on it, and if people start fucking about, the turrets come out and just start mowing them down.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be good if the what do you call it? The public enemy flies over and the turrets start blasting away.
That'd be awesome. So what was he talking about?
Landing pads for pilots.
I think he's about to talk about the doors that they've been updated to version 2. There we go.
Well, everything should be updated to version 2 now, because they can't not, because they were saying in Happy Hour that people were asking whether like some of the ships would be converted, some of them wouldn't be converted to 2.0. But he's like, no, everything has to be 2.0 now. We're going full 2.0. Everything has to be set to the new system. So they have to basically go in and do like all the drawers in the Mustang Alpha, all the drawers.
Oh, in the beta. Yeah.
In the beta, that's right.
The old camper van.
Yeah, the camper van drawers. So he's like, yeah, I was doing that for like all yesterday, just going in and doing the drawers.
Yeah, it's a good little ship, and this is the first time they were talking about player-driven advertising hoardings.
Yeah,
It's a little bit too close to life, really, but it's pretty cool.
No, it is. I like the whole sort of advertising system that they have. Like, just randomly video plays as you're walking around.
Yeah, I think that was the first time we've seen an advert for Klaus and Warner, the gun manufacturer.
This is the Vandal attack.
Yeah.
This is pretty fun, actually. Although I thought the hyperspace, the way they came out of hyperspace was a bit meh. Like they just sort of almost spawned.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's probably what this work in progress, but it reminds me a lot of the Wing Commander warping in from some of the cutscenes back in the day. But yeah, I expect it's going to be a lot better than that. And they won't literally just pop out with no inertia.
I know, it just looked literally like they just spawned there. It didn't even look like they came out of, out of the thing. But Salin's looking nice. I hope they make the planets dark, though. I don't want it to be like, there's a bit of a hoo-ha on the forums about this because it removes a lot of possibility and reliance on technology if you can see things with your naked eye. Because previously, if there's no moon, there would be nothing really to light the night side, and it would be dark, and you'd have to use your night vision in your ship, I'm agreeing with that.
Or sensors. And I think they probably need to roll that back a bit. It's a little bit too bright.
Yeah, it's like I played many video games where, the nighttime is not really nighttime. It's basically like dusk the entire night, and you're like, I really wish it was dark, I want that like sort of scariness of like not knowing what's like 5 feet in front of me, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it would also mean that your ship, the lights on your ship will actually serve a purpose because you'll need them.
You know that Nostromo video they did like last time? The one where they were like with the reclaimer. I mean, you're not going to get that sort of effect if it's too light. If it's just the base light is just too much. I think they'll listen to the community. I think they will anyway. But.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if enough people have constructive criticisms about it, they will obviously have to take that into account.
Hopefully. I really don't want it to be sort of like...
It doesn't make sense otherwise, does it? From a physics perspective, if there's no moon and the other side of the planet is not facing the sun, then what's going to be lighting it up?
I know. It doesn't make any sense. I agree.
An absolute shitload of fireflies. I don't think so.
No. Not on a moon with no atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I love looking at the planets. I'm going to be so happy when that 3.0 drops and I get to fly from planet to planet or moon to moon, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah, exactly. We've already got some things planning where you want to jump out of the back of my freelancer and then see if I can catch you before you hit the floor.
That would be fun.
that could be interesting. But yeah, no, it is going to be good. I mean, it's from what we've learned of Item 2.0 and what it actually touches, which is everything. It is going to be a completely different game almost compared to what backers have got access to right now.
It is totally different. Like everything is going to be modular. Like you'll be able to pull out your power supply from the ship and put a new one in. Pull out like the cooler, put a new one in, and it'll actually have physicality to it. So you pull it out of the ship and you walk, put it down on the floor. Or, so it'll be, because they're doing all assets for that right now, and sort of that kind of like you'll be able to put new components in, customize those components, tweak them, all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be a completely different style of like meta. Everyone's going to be like, oh, what's the best power supply? What's the best cooler?
There'll be a lot more money going in through the Voyager Direct store. Yeah, I mean this is what we're showing down below is what we were talking about with the fake night. I mean, this is what you expect it to be dark, and then they've just making it not dark for some bizarre gamification reason. Yeah, so listen to the community. We don't like it.
Yeah, make it realistic. I mean, you got everything else like realistic in terms of like soldiers like running out of breath, O2 levels in your suit, so you could, that kind of stuff. So they'd have blood in you, basically. That's basically what it's simulating.
Yeah.
So why not simulate realistically the moon's darkness?
Well, they've already done it. They've just decided to roll it back a bit because I don't know, pass. But it seems like a pretty silly decision compared when you consider they spent so much time making the universe work realistically so far, or at least from what we've seen anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave the benefit of the doubt. I'll see what 3.0 looks like, and if it's stupidly bright on the dark side of the moon, then I'm gonna have words, as they say.
I think we're all going to be quite surprised at just how big these planets and moons are when we actually get our hands on them.
Do you think some of these, any of these moons, going to be tidally locked? Because our moon is tidally locked to our planet, because the far side of the moon is always facing away from us. So
yeah. No, I don't know. It depends on how they've done it with this Stellar Forge or whatever they call it. But there's bound to be moons that are, but whether they all
most
will
moons
be, who knows?
there's a lot of moons are tidally locked because the planets draw into them, and there's friction as they so they sort of bring them into sort of line with them. So a lot of moons tend to be tidally locked, which would be interesting. I was reading about that yesterday. Anyway,
as you do, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, I was going to buy a telescope. I'm buying a telescope, so.
Yeah, I've been looking at getting a pair of binoculars to start off with because it's cheaper, and then see what happens from there. Because I've always fancied looking at the moon.
Yeah.
To start off with. But yeah, anyway, we totally derailed ourselves there.
Yeah.
But
it's a nice demo. Looks good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the improvements they've made to some of the textures are, is obviously making a difference.
I'm really impressed with the environment, just because it doesn't look procedurally generated. It looks like hand drawn. Like there's craters and there's high peaks and there's low peaks. A lot of procedurally generated terrain tends to be sort of flat and sort of not many cool features to it.
Yeah, like procedurally identical almost.
Right. Yeah, like No Man's Sky suffers from that.
Yeah, it does. Big time.
But yeah, I'm very impressed with their planets. They're as good as they look amazing. Basically, I'll just say that.
Yeah. We literally at this point we can't wait to get our hands on it. We got 6 weeks maybe. I reckon.
2 weeks until Evocati you get it.
No, I mean 6 weeks till it's released.
Well, yeah, but we don't care about the release because we'll probably be in the PTU when after Evocati goes, because
hopefully.
They'll probably do subscriber sort of in concierge PTU access, I would assume, just like they did last time. So to build hype, and that will be at the end of supposedly is at the very beginning of June. So
yeah, precisely. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it anyway. That last bit where you saw those, what did they call them? They were like decals or something, where you had it looked as if it was blowing. I wasn't quite sold on it. It wasn't quite.
Oh, the dust?
I don't know. It didn't quite look right to me. But obviously, it's the first implementation, so they'll get it right. But it looked like it was put on top of the rest of the geometry rather than part of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only thing that struck me as a bit odd when I saw it.
I still don't think the geysers on Salin look very good. I think they still maybe they'll adjust them more. But this you're talking about?
Yeah, this bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks okay. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks okay. The ground looks really nice. The textures on the ground looks really good.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, yeah, the geysers, like you said, they're better than they were the first time because I think I commented on the first time we saw it. I thought it literally looked like you just dumped them on there because, of course, that's what they did, or procedurally dumped them there, whatever. But they now merge into the rest of it a lot better, but they still stand out a bit.
Yeah. Maybe the shadows as well, something to do with it. I don't know. So what's next on this little video?
I'm just looking down what we're looking at now.
This
is the oxygen bit.
Oh yeah. Well, they were saying, I was in the happy hour actually, that the oxygen levels affect how fast you can sprint. So if like your suit is like broken or O2 levels are low, you can't run very fast. So you're like,
Yeah. Well, I'm an asthmatic, so I know all about that.
So that'll be very interesting to. The level of detail they're doing is just nuts, man. I think they go too far sometimes.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I'm still convinced that this is going to be something truly groundbreaking when it's all delivered because of everything they put in. This was all right. I still think that the ships seem to bounce around a little bit too much on the planets when they land. But I'm sure they'll get it.
Well, maybe there's no gravity on this planet. I don't know. Low ground.
Yeah, true enough. Could be.
That was a bit of a bouncy saber landing.
Yeah. But at least they don't skate about, because one of the issues they did mention, I think it was last 80, well, not last from us, but last according to what we're looking at here, was how they're working on the physics grid now. They merge it around so things don't bounce around. Mm-hmm. So they're probably still working on things like that.
Cool. So, yeah, they think they finished the planetary physics grids. At least I'm going to bring up the schedule report at the end of this podcast, and we'll go through that quickly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was a lot of talk actually, a lot of people complaining about the guns. I don't know if you saw that. Like a lot of people bitching, saying, "Well, we don't want all these pink guns," and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with them. You know, it's all well and good showing off that you can have different decals on there, but I don't want people running around with bloody bright pink bloody, or even worse, gold-plated pistols and bright pink friggin' Vanguard Wardens. Flexibility is good, but there needs to be some control, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I would hope that
those things look meaty, don't they?
Is that a ship gun?
Yeah, that's the what is it? The Apocalypse Arms scattergun. That was.
Okay, so it's like the scattergun on the other. Okay.
Just like a ship-mounted shotgun, which still.
Well, they have one already. They have one already.
Yeah.
That one, which is, I forget what it's called, but it's pretty neat. That one actually, it's useful. Where were we? Okay, so I brought up the schedule report for later.
He's talking about the cinematics bit now. Now they had a couple of
mocap stuff. I think they're still doing mocap. I think they had most of the animations down by now, but
yeah, I mean, I suppose it all adds to the experience. I mean, if they're going right, okay, we're not happy with a particular bit of mocap for something, or we just want to reshoot something. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, kung fu fighting in Star Citizen.
It seems
first time we've seen this.
Yeah, it is a bit strange that they need kung. It almost looks canned, almost like it's going to be used as like a sort of cutscene because
Yeah, it could be people sparring in the background when you're walking through the areas or something. Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I just
because if anybody tries to kung fu fight, a player, they just pull a pistol out and shoot him in the head, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it does look good when you show it in engine.
It does. What's this? Airlock. Oh, that's the airlock doors thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all going to be in 3.0, where all the rooms will have atmosphere and you can die from suffocation. So that's going to be in 3.0 too. And you can, he said basically in Happy Hour, you can basically put any gases you want into the, sort of environment and they'll sort of take care of themselves. So it doesn't, so like you could put like the air is full of sulfur and, so if you lose your helmet, you end up choking to death on sulfur fumes or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah. Put some nitrogen oxide in there and make everybody laugh.
Someone's mentioned that actually on the Happy Hour. It's like if I put helium in the airlock, just everyone start talking with a squeaky voice.
That'd be hilarious.
He's like, well, yes, you could do that, but we haven't done squeaky voices at the moment.
Yeah. Or basically have like a little tank of helium when you're going to speak to Miles Eckhart, and they have to put everything up like 5 octaves when he's talking to you, because that'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. That'd be a good way to like surprise a group of guys. You chuck a helium canister in and they start laughing their asses off because they can't. So when they talk to each other, they just start giggling.
Non-lethal weapons.
Yeah.
They can't shoot because they're laughing too much.
Right. Oh dear.
I think they're gonna start showing off the Aegis Eclipse in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. To me, this ship is pointless. I just don't get it.
It's not pointless, but it's pointless in the PU because it doesn't really have much of a civilian use. I think that's the issue with it. It's like what are we going to use it for? Delivering cargo via torpedo?
So why did you buy one then, Mr. Marsh or Mr.
Well, I must admit, I got sucked into the hype. I still have it. I haven't melted it. And it is quite funny because I made a mistake. I forgot that war bond things had to be real money.
Yeah.
New money. So I melted a couple of things, realized I couldn't use the money, went, oh shit, well, I've made the commitment now. I'm going to have to stick some more money in. I hope it's going to be useful for things like in Arena Commander when they expand it, so it's not just dogfighting. You end up having to try and take on capital ships and stuff. So there's a use of it, because obviously in the PU, it's kind of pointless. You're not going to be doing scanning missions in an Eclipse because, all right, it's stealthy, but you can't dogfight for shit in it. They've already said that.
No.
And the size 9 torpedoes are impressive, but it's a bit overkill trying to shoot that as a bloody.
Well, the Capital can take 3 size
pirate
torpedoes.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I mean, you could use it to kill a caterpillar, but I mean, I don't know how many size 9s are on that thing, but
on what? There's 3 of them,
so they could take a caterpillar out with all 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously designed to go in there and strike without being seen, hopefully. And if you have enough of them, you could obviously do some damage in conjunction with other stuff, with other things. Like if you had a Hornet, if you had a Vanguard Sentinel to do some additional E-War stuff, maybe you could take shields down with one of those by hacking the shields, and then you can use the torpedoes. That'd certainly, make people have a significant repair bill, if nothing else. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still 50-50. I like the design of it. I'm going to wait until it's flyable before I make a decision on whether I keep
which
it.
Which will be sometime next year, year after, probably.
Yeah, I'm not in any massive rush, but I do like the idea. I like the idea of the ship, but I bought it knowing that it's not really going to be of much use in the PU unless I start helping out, taking out larger targets like Pirate Idris or the Van Duel.
To me, it's basically a very niche ship that looks pretty, but it's very niche. I mean,
yeah, it's in danger of being upgraded to a Vanguard when they come out. To be honest, because I thought when I first when I went for it, because it was before it was officially released, I thought it was at least a 2-seater. But when I found out it was effectively the same size as a Sabre, really, I thought, oh, Christ,
a bit wider than the Sabre, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, same sort of deal. It's not quite what I expected when I put the money in.
Yeah. Anyway. No, but
it does look pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool, yeah. It reminds me a little bit of the Gladiator, a little bit. I quite like it. Almost looks like the Batwing.
Yeah, it does look like something Batman would fly in the PU, doesn't it?
Oh, dear.
But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say about the Eclipse, really. It looks cool, really. But ultimately it's pretty niche in its usability. I mean, some of the grey box stuff they put in towards the end, which is at about 2357, you can see what they've done. They've done white box of the wing states and then white box of the deployment of the torpedoes, so you can see how they fire them. But I guess everybody's probably seen those already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think we need to talk about the Eclipse too much. Just, it's not that.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at that picture, it looks pretty big, doesn't it?
It does.
When it's under the tarpaulin, but when you find out it's a single seat, you're like, whoa, it's
a big ship for a single seater.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Yeah. Is it long range though? Can it fly really far?
I don't know. They haven't really mentioned the range on it. They don't even know at this point if it's got a jump drive.
Really? Wow. Well, okay, so I guess we're done with this ATV, and we'll move on to the more interesting one.
Yeah,
for me.
See, that's all it's got. 2 piddly little size 2s.
Wow.
It's not going to be any good dogfighting.
Size 2 gimbaled or size 2 fixed?
I think it's fixed, but I'm not sure. I think the specs I read said it was fixed, but hey ho. Let's move on.
That's not terrible, but if it's like size 2, if it's size 2 fixed, and as opposed to size 2 gimbaled, then that's different. But I mean, it's definitely new Sabre, that's for sure. So yeah, this was ATM 2.0 from Austin, and they're talking about. I think the first thing they come up with after this little intro is let me get to it. Is the beacons? I think it was.
Yeah, the Austin update first, where they were talking about beacons, and they actually said that they were physical things rather than stuff that you stick in your computer, which I'm quite happy about. I think that's a great idea.
I don't know. I don't know how much I like that. Sort of like you can put a beacon down, you have to come back to repair it. I mean, what exactly is going to damage it?
Well, at the end of the day, I suppose if you can pick them up on scanners, you could be a dick and blow up somebody's.
Right, but I understand if like someone else destroys it. But apparently, there's like maintenance required for them. I'm not really sure what maintenance would be needed for them. Realistically, I mean,
maybe they run out of batteries.
Yeah, but they're solar powered. Surely, isn't?
No.
Surely there's power by the sun.
You'd have thought they would have some sort of power supply which doesn't need any maintenance, because otherwise that'd be stupid, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it would be a niche job. What are you? I'm a beacon repairman. There's always going to be a job.
To me. I mean, it seems like a gamification of it, sort of like we need to like make them expire because we don't want them there forever, sort of thing. I mean, that's to me what it seems like.
Could be. I mean, they talked about the fact that you can hack them, or you can give. So I could give you access to my beacons,
right?
And vice versa. But somebody could also hack my beacon so that they actually know what it is, or perhaps take it off us. You know, maybe there'll be a significant amount of money per beacon, so that people might want to hack it to take them. Who knows?
I think that mechanic. I think that'll change. I don't think they'll require much maintenance. I think they'll get destroyed all the time. That's perfectly fine. You know, some pirate guy wants to destroy it. That's fine. But I don't think they should like require like you to go back to them to fill them up with gas or something like that. You know, that makes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I would have thought that your onboard computer would have some sort of way of recording those coordinates, even if the beacon was destroyed. Otherwise, you could end up losing access to your deployable mining structure, for example, because you don't know where it is anymore. You know,
well,
there's got to be.
I think that I think they'll probably end up like your ships will give off beacons in themselves, so like you could probably fly to your ship, you know, sort of like, but automatically gives off a beacon if you're not on it or something like that. That's like encrypted. You could say it's encrypted so that no one else could see it. But I think they don't have to worry about that. I think they're just trying to think of like ways to like make people fight each other. Sort of like, oh, these pirates see a beacon, they go to the beacon, and then they wait for other people to come to that beacon and sort of ambush them at that beacon, sort of thing. I think, and you know, that sort of thing. I think is sort of that's some good gameplay mechanics. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it could well be.
And then they got,
but you know, the fact that they've actually expanded on it is good.
It's nice to see the information about exploration. I mean, I think that's good. I think you'll be able to do. People were saying that you might have to like fly manually to these places that no one's ever been to before. But I think what it is you fly like short quantum travel jumps with no beacon, and then you get to, you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to make you fly.
So you find places, you drop a beacon, and then you can go back and share the location with other people. So,
but I don't think they're going to make you fly in afterburner mode all the way there. It's like, say, because
no.
You know, I think they're going to make you like you can do like short quantum jumps without a beacon, but you could end up in anywhere really. But when you do find a place, you drop a beacon, and someone else can get there automatically. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, you could probably even encrypt your beacons and then sell the location for money when once you've found something like a derelict or something like that.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that's part of it. I think that's how you're going to be selling information. Then they went over to Subsumption, that was converted to the back end, so that they can put it into the server side, aspect of Subsumption into the back end.
They converted it over to Linux from what it was running in before, which means that they're a lot more, it's easier for them to spin up additional ones because Linux is it's cheaper to run too because no licensing cost, depending on the distro, of course. This is pretty cool. They were talking about the sizes of the actual crates. It's like 25, 50, and 75 centimeters is the ones they're building at the moment that are hand carryable.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they were talking about the fact that they had to the carrying thing was delayed on the schedule report because they have to do the 0G version, and they forgot about that apparently, something like that. They're like, oh, we got to do a 0G version for carrying stuff. So that's why that was delayed. And then Steve Bender decided to do some more mocap with guns apparently.
Yeah. And then going back to those crates, there was the first time that we've seen the locking mechanism for them. So like it had like a little keypad on it, which is pretty cool.
I don't think the locks are going to be in 3.0. They were talking about the locking in 3.2. So
Yeah, they said that they need to put a security system on top of the
Right.
because the ability to do it is in, but it won't. But the actual system on top of that ability,
For
that
permissions, you
code,
mean?
it needs to be in place. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you can like tell who's who and whether that person actually is allowed access or not, sort of thing. That system on top of item 2.0 is not done. So
Yeah.
okay, where are we up to next?
This
So,
is
this was better GeForce animations. Is that what this is?
yeah.
Yeah, this was the better GeForce. No, this was item 2.0, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, no, this is they were talking about the GeForce animations, and they went on to talking about the work needed to convert the ship into item 2.0.
So that's actually done. The part one's done now. So it's good news for actual getting this out on time, because the engineering side is done. Now they're just doing the tech side. So yeah, it's looking good. I think they'll convert. How many ships are there right now? How many ships do they have to?
How many ships? I don't know. It's probably got to be about
It's going to be
at least 20 now.
No,
Easily?
it's way more than 20.
Oh,
I'd
with
say-
the actual variants as well. Yeah,
Yeah, there's at least 40, I think. So
that's some pretty nightmarish bugs going on there.
that's reminds me of that thing from Edge of Tomorrow, the mimics,
Yeah.
weird shaped. But yeah, what was I saying before that? I've completely forgotten, lost my train of thought.
I thought this was mental. Somebody driving a grey cat out to the side of a caterpillar whilst in quantum drive. Nuts. But it's good that they're testing things like that.
Yeah, that is.
That looks pretty good landed, doesn't it? And
It did.
that looks cool.
What, the landing? Yeah.
No, the actual planetscape.
It does.
You know, the third person view they had there was looks awesome.
Man, I'm so excited about 3.0. I just got to calm myself down.
Yep, got to calm down, man. I mean, when 3.0 comes out, it literally is going to have more game in it and more fidelity than Elite Dangerous has managed so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a more complete game than Elite Dangerous is.
Well, I mean, it will be more complete, but there'll be more. Everything will look a lot nicer because it's obviously it's first person rather than you are
But there's
bolted
not a lot to do in Elite
seats.
Dangerous. It's just basically a cargo game, basically.
Nah, there's a lot more to it than that. But that's because you haven't played it.
I have. I played the beta, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you played it since Horizons came out, so you can actually land on planet, there you go. It added a lot to it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, being able to go from space to the surface without loading screens is just going to blow Elite Dangerous away on its own, let alone anything else.
Plus, you can't even get out of your seat in Elite Dangerous.
Well, you move your seat into your SRV planetary vehicle, but you're still sat in it.
Yeah, but you don't actually stand up. It's basically people in the
No.
future in Elite Dangerous are so fat they just can't get out of the seats, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, in the lore in Elite, there is no anti-gravity. So all the smaller ships, you basically, if you land on a place where there's no gravity, you end up having to EVA everywhere. So handholds and all the rest of it. So it's like you don't walk about. So that's probably why they haven't put it in, because they have to simulate all that stuff. It's either mag boots or you're floating
Just
about
use
all over.
Mac boots.
Yeah, exactly. They could do that, and that's what they should do. But
I don't
we'll see
get.
what
I
happens.
don't get why that wasn't a priority for them. I mean,
See, this video here. Sorry, we're doing it. We're talking about this is the turbulent update, and they went throughout this ATV. I noticed they had like two different zooms. It's like, wide view, close up view, and they kept like going back and forth. It was really, really like distracting. I don't know if you noticed that.
no, I didn't.
No, but you watch.
Someone's got
weird.
too much time on their hands playing with the cameras, I think.
Yeah, or they've just got like a 2-shot zoom mode, and they've just been randomly alternating between the two to try and see whether it looks any better. But no, it doesn't. It was just really weird.
I really don't enjoy the turbulent bits. They do too many of them. They seem to be like there's almost once every 2 weeks is a turbulent update. I mean, just tell me when you got something good like
Yeah.
Delta Patcher. That would be interesting. I would like to know about that. Nested and non-nested threads. I mean, yeah, okay, that's interesting, but I don't need a whole segment on it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Spectrum is a big thing.
Yeah, but
we both use it every day, so they deserve to have their own updates. But I think sometimes they almost have one just because they have to.
planets are way more important than Spectrum, in my opinion. Like good planets, and they don't do it half as much. They do way more about Spectrum than they do about the planets and stuff like that. But that's just my gripe.
I'm thinking that they'll probably bring that sort of stuff out closer to 2.0 going
3.0.
going to the BTU 3.0. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go again with a weird zoom. Watch. When you're actually not listening to it, it's even more jarring. We haven't done it now. Just, oh, there you go. What's that all about?
He's in the middle of talking and he just zooms in on his face, like, randomly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And it happens in the next bit as well when they're talking about the item 2.0 in more detail. Yeah,
that's funny.
Maybe they're trying to show us something with the plant in the background. I'm not quite so sure. But it was interesting because, I mean, what was the biggest thing they were talking about here? 0.35 will add in.
The nested threads was the big thing.
View preferences for threads.
Right.
Unify the read state, so you'll have like little yellow dots to say when something's unread, which I think he's going to be showing in this bit in a minute. May have jumped forward a little bit.
I think it'll be useful. I mean, the things I'm waiting for on Spectrum are VoIP, Delta Patcher,
VoIP?
VoIP. Voice over.
What? VoIP. Right, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
VoIP, Delta Patcher, and there's one other thing which I really want, is Spectrum in the game. Those are the three things that I think are you could do a bit on. The rest of the stuff is just like minor features being added to something that's already pretty good. Like, it's not. It's.
How do you think they're gonna? Spectrum in game? How do you think they're gonna show it?
Mobiglass.
Is it gonna be Mobiglass, or is it gonna be like an overlay? Like
no, I think it'll be Mobiglass.
Okay.
I think it'll be Mobiglass. Part of Mobiglass.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. Isn't
well,
it?
they're doing a refactor of
Mobiglass
in 3.0, so it's going to look completely different Mobiglass.
Like, it needs a redo.
It does. It's been a while, and it looks kind of dated.
Exactly. I like the fact that they're allowing you to use tags as bookmarks as well, which is quite cool.
Nah. I mean, that's just fluff.
But most people forget to use them. To be honest, I've noticed they don't tend to add them in when they create threads. But
I know, but that's just fluff. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, that's not a major feature, No,
it's just.
I think they ran out of things to talk about, so we'll let Turbulent do some talking. I think that's what it was.
and test out the weird zoom function on the cameras.
He's like, we got a new camera. We should test it out.
Yeah.
Voyager Direct.
Go on. Sorry, mate.
No, you go ahead, mate. You was talking about.
No. It's fine. I was going to say what were you going to say. So I was almost interrupting you. So go on.
So Voyager Direct, right? That's the one where you pay real money for cash, right?
You spend UEC.
What is the point of that right now? There's no real point in having it in the game. All it does is con people, newbies, out of money, as far as I can tell.
The only time I've ever used it is because you can buy stuff for your hangars. So you can buy your Grey Cat buggy in the Voyager Direct. So if you haven't got one of those, that's how you get one. Came in some of the bigger packages for the Constellation and others, but that's how you get it if you want one of those. You can buy posters. So if you didn't get them back in the day as part of the pledge rewards, or if you haven't been backing long enough, you can buy some of the posters, skins for your Grey Cat. Guns.
Yeah, but there's weapons. What's the point about? Yeah, exactly. Like, why are there weapons and all those other things and missiles in Voyager Rec? Because you can get all that stuff with Rec, and new people who came to the game probably don't know that you can get all that stuff with Rec, and you don't need to spend real money on it. I mean, to me, it seems sketchy at best.
Yeah, I mean, the items whatever you equip your ships with for Arena Commanders, you can still use in the PU, can't you?
Yeah. That's right.
So effectively, they are useless, but soon they will.
But you soon will be able to buy them in Jumpers Depot in 3.0.
Yeah, sure. But what I'm going to say is, I reckon that they'll have completely different loadouts for your ship. So you'll have your Arena Commander loadout, which will be using stuff you've got for all your ROMs.
But my point is,
and then you'll
have your PU one. It feels kind of skeevy. It feels like unless you know not to buy from Voyager Direct, that's not the best way to get weapons.
I've bought three things from their weapons, right? Because back before I had a Super Hornet, and I don't have a Super Hornet anymore, but before I had that, I just had a Ghost that doesn't have the chin turret. The only way to get the chin turret in the game, or to have it as something you know is physically going to be on your ship, was to buy it for UEC and Voyager Direct. And then obviously you need to have some guns to put on it as well. And I bought it before, I think it might have been before Arena Commander came out, just when the hangar module was there. That's when I bought those because I assumed that was the only way you could do it. Obviously now I wouldn't, but that, I think, I'd be very surprised if anybody's buying stuff with UEC right now. And the only guns that actually were purchased were before Arena Commander was brought out, just so people could put different weapons on their hangar ships. But and they probably feel a bit ripped now.
I know, but like Voyager Direct's going to be pretty much worthless once Dumpus Depot comes out. I mean, why would you pay money for like a missile, like 5 missiles or something like that? You know what I mean? It's like,
well, I think Dumpers Depot is supposed to be second-hand salvage rather than top brand new stuff, isn't it?
No, so I think you'll be able to buy brand new stuff there.
Oh, okay, I always thought it was salvage.
Maybe it may be later, but it's definitely going to have. They're definitely going to have weapons and missiles and that kind of stuff in Dumpus Depot. Whether or not the ships are also available, which I don't think it will in 3.0. I don't think you'll be able to buy ships with UEC. I mean, a lot of people say that would kill their, their income stream, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would because every time there's a patch, you'd lose the ship. And the amount of UEC you'd have to spend to buy a ship would be preventative. Yes, exactly.
Even an Aurora would probably cost, in the tens of thousands.
200,000 or something like that, I think. So yeah, it would be prohibitively expensive, especially as if you lose it every patch, and they're doing patches like every couple of months. You know what I mean? So I don't think they would having something permanent with LTI, especially as insurance is coming too. I think that is a major incentive to buy it with real cash. So I don't think they need to worry so much about having ships purchasable with Alpha UEC. But
exactly, yeah. I mean, to be honest, the only reason why the concept sales do as well as they do these days is because every concept comes with LTI. If LTI wasn't a thing, they probably wouldn't sell as many of them because people are still. We don't know how much SHI is going to cost to renew if you don't have LTI on your ships. They haven't told you. And the reason why they haven't is because they know that LTI is still a massive hook, even though they keep telling us that it's not a big deal. It's just a perk, a small perk, but they still haven't clarified it, which is a bit shady, to be honest.
I mean,
at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I have LTI on all my ships, but that's just because I'm crazy. But
no, you're not. You're not crazy. You're sensible. Look, they're doing the stupid Zoom thing on this as well. I just don't know why they do it. It just doesn't add anything to the experience other than thinking, what? You want me to look at his nose? What is it?
It is rather jarring. It is rather jarring now I'm watching it. Actually, I didn't notice it before, and now I'm like, oh crap, that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
They don't even zoom in like slow. It's not even like a gradual thing. It's like whoosh, doosh.
Yeah, it's almost like camera 1, camera 2, but it's obviously the same camera with zoom on, isn't it? Because it's not a different perspective. It's just zoomed in.
They're doing it like every 2 seconds. Why are they doing it every 2 seconds?
I don't know. It was just really odd. I just thought I'd bring it up because I noticed it and it was just like clang. What are they doing?
I can't believe I didn't notice it, but you noticed. You take more. I tend to listen to them like just with my headset a lot of the time. So because I'm the one who writes the bloody notes. I have to watch it and make sure what was the timestamp for the video. I need to put that. That's why I noticed it. Yeah.
Because every time I watch one of these, it probably takes me if it's a 40-minute runtime, it probably takes me about an hour and a half, maybe longer, to actually get way through it. Because I'm always pausing it to find out what was the useful bit for this. And I just wish the Constellation was actually that useful right now because it's not proper. It's proper toothless at the moment, which is a real shame.
Yeah, same with the Caterpillar. I mean, there's not really that.
I mean, the Andromeda is billed as a space superiority heavy fighter, effectively, but it isn't. It just gets pwned by anything.
That's just too slow and cumbersome. That's why, and the turrets don't work.
It's got loads of missiles, but you can't rely on those.
No. So item 2.0. So this is Mark. He's having a talk about item 2.0.
The Bug Smasher.
Yeah. He's pretty funny, Mark, actually.
Yeah, he is funny.
So yeah, he's just basically going over and explaining how big 2.0 is and how much it changes in terms of the depth of it, like having the components, making these little bits of code that you can port from one to a ship to another ship, and you don't have to do anything with them, like power supplies and even outposts. They said like outpost power supplies will be the exact same code as ship power supplies, so the functionality will be identical, so that they can just make these outposts really fast, so they don't have to put a lot of development into them. They're not going to be, and also you'll be able to know how they work. You know how your ship works, you know how your outpost works, sort of thing.
Yeah, you just need a forklift to change the power supply in an outpost.
It's basically the same thing. You basically just take your ship power supply, stick it in your outpost, and away you go.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could actually use ship power supplies and outposts.
Yeah, they'll be identical.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to take them, and they'll be basically interchangeable. They may have to be powerful enough to work it, but they may have to be a certain level of power. But
yeah, I saw a car manufacturer doing that with a hydrogen fuel cell, where you could actually use it to run your motorbike, run your little speedboat, and then heat your house. And it's the same generator. You just take it out and move it between. I think it was one of the Japanese ones. It might have been Honda. This is probably going back 5 years ago, so it's the same sort of deal.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I think it's sensible. That's why Item 2.0 is great, because they don't have to spend all this time doing the code for these outpost power supplies and various other functionality. They can just say, okay, that bit of code works. We'll just take it from the ship, put it in an outpost, job done. And saves months of like development, coding, tech stuff. And so, yeah, great idea. That's why
Definitely.
That's why it's so good, Item 2.0. It allows easy components. You could just take a bit of code that you want, stick it in another ship, away you go.
I mean, effectively, what we have now with Item 1.0 and the build that we all play with every day or whenever we do is it's literally like a completely separate game now.
Yeah.
Given everything that it touches on, and all the other improvements and all the other features that come in with planetary landings and cargo and blah blah blah, it is literally like a completely different experience.
It will be. It will be completely different. I mean, it'll be like basically like you'll be able to like take parts off your ship and put new parts on. And right now, ship is just one item. It's just one thing, and all these parts are like they're not separate. But now each individual thing is separated from everything else. It does mean they have to update all those things individually, which is why they had to create this new batch update system, which takes multiple threads, which can be used on multiple threads. But yeah,
exactly. I mean, they're hinting quite heavily that there's going to be a massive influx of new modules that you'll be able to acquire one way or the other for your ships. Every single time I've seen Mr. Tomei speak this week on the various segments, it's always been about you'll be able to do this, that, and the other, and upgrade your ship, and people will want to, because basic stuff that you get with it, so standard isn't going to be as good as and all the rest of it, so it'll be massively meta. But it's almost if they're hinting that you will have no choice but to upgrade if you want to keep up with the Joneses, and that's something that does concern me a little bit, especially when people have spent a shitload of money already on the ships they've got. If they have to spend more money to bloody upgrade them.
No, I think you'll be able to do it with Dumpers Depot. I think it'll be alpha. Basically, you will be cargo running to make enough money to buy these upgrades for your ships. And once you bounty.
As long as they're covered by insurance once you've installed them. Like if you pay the additional extra money, then that's good enough. I'd only want to buy them once, is all I'm saying.
Well, the insurance system may not be completely finished. I don't know if they're going to be doing, I think they said basic insurance first.
When it's live. Once it's all live, I'd only want to buy the insurance once. I don't mind if it's, dicked about within the game. And they need to tell us that they're going to allow us to shut the damn bloody Constellation turrets down. They look stupid, but poking out all the time. Remember back in the day, the first hangar version of the Constellation, you could open and close the turrets.
No.
And they had armor that came down over the top of them when they were retracted to make it more streamlined. So they'd hide inside unless they were actually deployed. The current version of the Andromeda, at least, I've never seen those. Never seen the actual turrets retract on them, although they're obviously meant to, because they've got the articulating turret necks. So I just hope that they put that back in, because at the moment it spoils the whole look of the ship, especially for atmospheric entry, he'd rip the
yeah.
bloody turrets off.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how well a lot of these ships handle in atmosphere. The bigger ones like the Cat and the Starfarer and Constellation. I think that'll be very interesting to see. One thing I was thinking about. I wonder if you'll be able to like have your ship hover in a spot, like get out and have it stay there without.
Well, like an autopilot type.
Yeah, sort of like I'm just going to jump out like 6 feet off the ground and have it hovering in the air, just like stay there without, just hanging out without some pilots in it.
I don't know. I expect that's something that an AI module that they talked about in the previous week's ATV could probably do. If you could slave it so that the actual AI can be controlled from your mobiGlas. But only, obviously, short. You can only say like up, down, left, right, go and land over there. Wouldn't be full on AI because that would be too powerful. Well, I expect so.
Yeah, well, I thought that'd be fun. So what is he talking about right now? Where are we at?
He's probably saying that
27 minutes.
Yeah, he's hitting home about how the 2.0 hits everything. Even the marketing team is impacted by 2.0, which is, again, a heavy hint that they'll be marketing some new modules. Otherwise, what the hell would marketing have to do with a new feature inside the game, which is part of it, because unless they're trying to sell something with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think he's talking about moving things around again. I'm not entirely sure.
Wow. Okay, well, we don't need to go in. I think we're going to go into more of this later with the schedule report.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things he did say, which is quite cool, is that in Star Citizen, each ship is effectively like your house in another MMO.
Okay.
And we're flying about our houses, whereas it's not like a mountain Warcraft where it literally is just something you sit on and that's it, then you get off and it disappears. They're so much more complicated than that, which is fair comment.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to go do this now. So this is basically the schedule report for this week. So yeah, June 2nd, which is good. It's nice to see us progressing. Yeller and Sullen, Daymar, they're all good to go. So the first one is they completed all the moons. We knew that. This was this week. They finished the surface outposts. Although they split the task off into two things. Surface outpost lighting is now a separate task, but they finished the surface outposts as they are. So that was good. Mission givers, they got delayed a little bit. Derelict ships got delayed a little bit. Debris fields are finally completed this week, so that's good. Dalamar, I think Dalamar will make it into 3.0, even though it's like tagged for like June 30th. But
yeah, they've heavily hinted that it will be.
And then this is basically all what's already completed. It's just quite a lot of stuff for the persistent universe. And then we're moving down into gameplay. Playerman turrets, June 8th.
That's a complete revamp of turrets from bottom up.
Yep. It is.
Which hopefully will make their useful, because right now you just can't hit a barn door with it.
Right. Pick up and carry is done for the most part, but they have to do the zero-G environment version. Interacting with cargo. So that's that. I think the basics are done. They just need to do the zero-G, and that's due for June 12th. So this is the most important thing I was very happy about, was part 1 is complete of the item 2.0 ship conversion, which I think means that they've done all the ships, the engineering side of all the ships. So now they have to do the tech design of all the ships. So they're about halfway done, it looks like, and that's estimated.
Yeah, that'll be setting where the individual little interaction points are within the existing cockpits, or redoing some of the cockpits so they actually are suitable for 2.0 in some of the older ships.
Right. Yeah. So that's
item 2.0, not to confuse people.
Yeah. So 23rd of June is the potential date for that, and they actually estimated the part 1 quite accurately in there internally. So that's a good sign that they're sort of, they know what they're doing, they know what they have to do, and how, and the time it will take to do that thing. Because sometimes, when you're doing a project, you come across these things, you're like, wow, that's going to take a while. So, but this seems like they've come into it and they know exactly what they have to do, and they're just slogging it out, basically grinding it out, and it's just like grunt work, basically. That's what it seems like right now.
Yeah, they're just getting it down. I mean, obviously once Item 2.0 ship conversion Part 2 is done, then that's pretty much everything that needs to happen for us to be able to fly our ships in 3.0.
Yeah. Operator seats are finished, radar systems finished, light control systems finished, fuel and refuels finished, power supplies and pipes are finished, and quantum drive is finished for all ships. So it's good. I'm very pleased about that. That actually makes me think that they actually might release the 3.0 in July. That's my hope anyway.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Insurance. So there was a delay on this, I think it was, due to some network persistence issues, but now it's moving forward and it'll be done on June 9th. Stamina's finished completely for 3.0. I mean, there's going to be more features coming in the future for it, but right as is for 3.0, it's done. Doors and airlocks, they're sort of still working on that, it would appear. Cargo's still being tweaked, the kiosk and stuff like that, and how they're going to be attached in the ships. Commodities, kiosk support, atmospheric
They're
entry.
all pretty much linked, aren't they, those cargo commodities and kiosks?
Yeah. Atmospheric entry is done. I think that was already done before. Repair is done. So I'm assuming that's just using the handhold the tool thing. That's not that. They said that's not like you pulling, like say your shield generator gets blown up. It's not like you can pull it out and then stick a new one in at the moment. Not live while it's in motion. But you can repair them using the laser tool apparently or something.
Yeah, it'd be like battlefield type repair. Point, pull the trigger, it repairs it.
Right.
I expect to start off with.
Yeah, I think that's right. Inventory system support is not done, but it was delayed because of networking stuff, network engineering stuff. So it's June 16th now. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do the inventory system. Rover and Dragonfly now work in ships that are big enough to hold them. Work on this was delayed due to needed ship physics altered. Okay, so that's still in progress.
So no more bouncing around in the hold, which is great.
The changes for the batch updates for the ICS, that was just added, but that's done now. So yeah, they finished the object container setup. Mega map is done, which is great. Mega map's done. So we're on to core tech now, which is planetary tech is done. Solar system tool is done, which is nice. The entity update component scheduler is done apparently. Entity owner manager, not done yet, but what are you going to do? So then this is all the stuff that's already in. Subsumption, IFCS improvements, whole shit ton of stuff. Look at all that stuff that's been completed.
It's like you said, they're pretty much in the final stretch of the, grunt and code work now, with a bit of art here and there to support Item 2.0 inside ships, but all the big heavy items are done or almost done,
except for network stuff. That's the only stuff that's not really the tech the tech that was required to run 3.0. The only stuff that's really not finished, as far as I can tell, is the network stuff. The rest of it seems like they've done it. It's just they have to convert everything over and do a lot of grunt work for it. That's what it seems like to me, from my listening and reading. Then the field of view slider, that was done a while ago. This is all just basic stuff. It's due out to be finished next week, some of it. And they got a vehicle customizer as well.
That's all part of the redo of the Moby Glass.
Yeah, exactly. Inventory system also linked to the cargo manifest app, etc. Star map is done, but they decided to go back and make some more changes to make it look more visually pleasing and more intuitive for the player. So it's done. It's in the game. It's just not. It doesn't look as good as it should apparently. So the ETA is not known at the moment. They haven't announced what the ETA, but it is done for the basics. So I guess they could just drop it in and say, "There you go, guys," if they can't get it done in time.
Yeah, or they'll wait for 3.1. or 3.2.
Well, you need the map. You need the
is.
map to go from planet to planet and stuff like that. So you need a star map and some description to move around, I think, because the solar system is going to be huge comparatively to what it is now. Then AI, that's pretty much mostly done. Turrets is due on the June 9th. And the graphics, volumetric fog was delayed, which is a bit disappointing. Just because of some implementation issues with the Lumberyard. But ETA is June 9th for that. Contrails, I don't, there was something someone said that the contrails they're having some major issues with contrails, so I don't know if that's going to make it a 3.0. I think that's about it. Back end stuff, the solar system shop services is done, which is great. So you'll be able to have commodities and stuff like that. Sort of prices changing based on area and stuff, which is awesome. And then the last one I think is the network stuff is sort of June 9th. They've persistent data refactor and message queues, physics serialization, which means physics separates from the network code. So, which allows
by next week we should have those two big ones done.
Hopefully, if it isn't, then I'll be a bit worried. But then it's just ships. Then the prospect is done. Ursa rover is due next week. Cutlass Black is due on the middle of June. So pretty much it's looking good so far. I mean, it seems like they've made some serious progress in the last couple of weeks, and I'm very, very happy that they haven't delayed it further. So, all awesome.
Yeah, and barring any big blockers that they come across, I
don't see where the blockers could come from right now. I don't really see where blockers could come from. It just seems like they have to just grind it out. Like, there's no real major tech issues apart from the network stuff that I'm like, wow, that could stop them. Because the subsumption is done. That was one of the major blockers. Item 2.0 is pretty much done. It's just a matter of just getting it done, grinding it out. Those are another blocker. So the network code is the other one. I think we're good on time frame. I just think that whether or not they have enough people to get it done within the time, you know what I mean, like to grind it out.
Yeah, it's literally just manpower and a number of hours, stroke days, stroke weeks left to get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to actually go through. We're not finished yet, but going through almost the entire one of our podcasts without either of us getting overly negative about anything.
Yeah, I'm sort of pleased that they're sort of. I was worried that they might sort of start slipping the dates, but they've seemed to made some serious progress since the last couple of weeks, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I made a little bit of a note at the bottom of the notes for the item 2.0 vid or the ATV for last week, saying that I was going to call it that if 3.0 is delayed, it's because some aspect of item 2.0 isn't ready. But the more we talk about it, it's literally just bits and pieces in simple hours, so there's not going to be a big block to stop it. It'll literally just be, they might delay it by a week, maybe two, because they haven't finished some of the ships that are flyable yet.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I don't think you need to worry about item 2.0 anymore. I think that's just a matter of time. Whereas the network stuff, I mean, I'm sure they can do it, but it just seems like they don't have too many network guys, good network guys. You know what I mean? Like they need more of them. It seems like they
might be getting used to the differences between CryEngine and Lumberyard. Whilst they're both pretty much the same thing, the way that the front end, the client, and the back end talks to each other has had a massive overhaul when they moved over to Lumberyard. So they might have had to fix that before they could try and fix the issues with bind culling and so on.
But that's been delayed, so that's gone out of 3.0 bind culling. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems to me like subsumption is done. That was talked about forever. From like, oh, they're never going to get that finished, and they finished that for the most part. Tony Zervik has done a great job and got it done. I'm sure there's other people too, but that's the only one I know who's working on subsumption. And
he's the man in charge.
And item 2.0, it seems like they've done it. They just need to grind it out. And just the network stuff. I mean, I just wish I'm worried that the network stuff is going to be more of a problem going forward, because bind culling was supposed to come out in December. I mean, it's still not even vaguely done yet.
Yeah, I mean, remind the viewers what bind culling was supposed to fix for those who aren't aware of it.
It's sort of network bind culling, as far as what I've discerned from being a coder myself and from what they've said, is that basically you don't get packets from people that are not within your range, sort of nearby or visible to you. So it reduces the amount of network traffic that you need to process.
Yeah, so ultimately it makes the whole thing more efficient and less bandwidth intensive. So instead of having updates for every object, whether it's visible or not, you only get what your client is going to be able to see, and what it doesn't affect your client isn't shown or isn't given to you.
Right.
But they've talked about multi-threads for dealing with ships and so on, and if that's part of how they fix bind culling, then maybe they just called it something else and it's gone away.
No, it's definitely in 3.1. So as far as I can tell right now, looks like it's in 3.1. But there are other improvements to the network system that will help improve performance. But I don't think any of them are quite as significant as bind culling. I think where's the other ones on the bottom here? Network. So I think like the physics serialization and the persistent data refactor and then a message queue, I think they will improve performance on the network side of it, but I don't think it will be sort of the golden bullet, as it were, or the silver bullet. So
yeah, it'll improve things. They still need to fix, or resolve what the issue is, stopping them from sorting out bind culling. It's probably just a way out all of the various assets and aliases all linked together in the code.
I mean, it could
just put Mark Abent on it for a month; he'll fix it.
Yeah, yeah. Although networking coding is different, there's a lot of it's a whole different field. So
yeah, I don't think it's just protocols though, or packet transfer. It's a combination of that, and from what I've read anyway, a combination of that, the pure network side, and also how the engine deals with that information from the network stack.
Probably.
So yeah, I mean, they're not going to tell us everything because they'll be giving the game away.
No, but I do like that. I'm interested in that stuff. I used to be a network engineer, so that stuff's fun.
Yeah, bloody packets.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's we can call it a day. I guess I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you?
Let me think. Well, not really. I think. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot. The Eclipse was a good sale. We have no idea what's going to be sold next, and frankly, all we care about is 3.0.
I know what we're going to be selling next. They've mentioned
what?
600.
Go on in. Oh, okay. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not that. I reckon it's going to be a constellation-size Origin ship.
Yeah. I think that's what it'll be, and I think that's the next concept ship.
Unless it's, absolutely amazeballs, I'll probably pass on it because I've already got a Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How much is concierge you have to spend for concierge? Because I'm close to that, I think.
$1,000.
Oh, that's all? Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd buy one more ship and I'm over that. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite easy to do if you do little bits here and there, or you're stupid and forget about bloody war bond sales and. But yeah, no, it's relative. I mean, it's kind of fucking nuts, really, when you think about it. Pardon my French.
Well, not really. When you think about it,
we're talking about how easy it is to get to that level. When you think of how much money we're talking about, it's a bloody game.
I know, but it's like I backed in like October of 2013. That's 4 years ago, pretty much. So that's a long time. I mean, over the course of 4 years, it's not that bad. I mean, it's just like a subscription, like a Warcraft subscription for like 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that bad, really. But anyway, I mean, the 600 series will be interesting. It'll be a bit of a distraction from 3.0, and maybe they haven't said anything about it yet because they were leaving it just in case they go, oh shit, we're going to have to delay it for a month. Let's put the 600 series out to try and make everybody feel better. But do you think do you reckon it's going to have any variants, or do you think it's just going to be the 600 series and that's it?
I think they're moving away from variants. That's what I've gathered. I don't think like if you look, all the new ships in the last 6 months have no variants whatsoever.
No, it doesn't really make sense for them to do variants of any new ships unless there's a specific reason for them to have variants.
I don't think they're going to do any variants for a very long time. I just think they're sort of moving away from them. So
yeah, because they've realised that it doubles or triples or X number of variants there are the work for people. I mean, you look at the Freelancer series, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got 4 of them. So you've got the Freelancer, which is what you can fly at the moment. You've got the DUR, which is the Exploration Freelancer, which is long range and has a better jump drive. And then you've got the MISS, which is the militarized version with an absolute bucket load of missiles. And then you've got the MAX, which is the double-sized cargo carrying one. I mean, that is a shed load of work for the tech art team to do just for one particular ship. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense for them to do it going forward because they realize they shot themselves in the foot, trying to implement them to the quality that they've done of the new Constellation Aquila, for example. I mean, the detail in that thing is nuts. I mean, have you got one of those as a loaner ship at the moment for any of your others?
I had one before I got the cat. Like before the cat came out, I had one, but then I lost it.
Oh, that's right. I've forgotten about that. It's the subscriber ship this week, isn't it? Or this month?
The cat, yeah.
Yeah. So I might have to have a nose because I don't have one of those.
I like the cat. It's a good ship. I have the pirate version. It's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah, everything's cooler if it's pirate.
Higher.
Exactly. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll just have to see how it goes. It's interesting. Everybody's kind of excited about it. You get that from Spectrum, from the various people we talk to, and even when we talk to each other, we're excited about what 3.0 is going to bring. But life goes on. We've got work to do, which is why unless something horrendous happens, there'll be another 2 weeks before we hit your screens, so to speak.
Unless it's a really cool ATV that has some amazing shit in it, then 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's Evo Kati is probably going to drop it around. If it does, if they're on time, it'll be dropped next episode. So next episode, the Evo Kati is going to be dropping.
But even if it does, we're not allowed to talk about it. Even if we were an Evo Kati.
No, true, but I'm just saying there'll probably be leaks if I had to guess. There,
Oh yeah, there will be. And if they're well known enough and people are talking about it enough, I don't think it'd be a massive issue for us to cover something.
It wasn't a massive issue in 2.6 when that happened. Do you remember when that happened in 2.6?
Yeah, I do. I remember we both had a little bit of a difference of opinion about it, but I came round to the sensible option in the end, thinking, well, everybody who wants to know about Star Citizen has already seen it anyway, so why am I trying to be some fucking white knight about it because everybody's seen it? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everybody's seen it on Reddit or YouTube, and it's not like it's news. It's already
no, it's not. And we're always delayed anyway, so by that point, it's kind of moot. But if something really exciting does come out, we might even go back to weekly. With 3.0, there might be enough content.
I think when 3.0 comes out, I think we could do a weekly one. We may even be able to do midweek play sessions or something like we were doing with Wildlands. Remember when we were doing the Wildlands mid stuff?
Yeah, we didn't record any of that though, did we?
No, that was I don't know. It was too the network shit and that was just fucked. Remember?
It was. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. I mean, it
was like
it was awful. I don't know if anybody's playing it, but very, very quickly, right? We were playing together, so we could always see each other in the game. But I was standing there, literally in the middle of a base, and there was people shooting him all over the shop, and I just stood there going, "What? There's no one here. I can't see anybody."
Network synchronization issues. Yeah, terrible. It was awful. We basically gave up. We were like, "Fuck this shit. We can't play this."
Yeah. And then they all popped in at once, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, there they are!"
It was super annoying.
We'll have to give it a bash, see if they fix it. There's been a few patches in the last few weeks. We haven't tried it in a month.
No, we can try it again during the week. I mean, if they fix it, we'll do a video. But if they haven't, it's just basically it's too frustrating to do a video of it otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. It's not alpha, it's release, and if it's buggy as that ways, then you can't get
it's worse anyway than Star Citizen. So let's let everybody go because we'll talk about shit for hours. So thanks very much for your attention, everybody. If you like what you see,
like this Twitch stream. We'll put it up on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share it with your mates, watch it 20 times, whatever you want to do. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. But if you want us to cover anything specific, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I actually want to mention one thing. If anyone's on the Speakeasy Facebook group wants to come on the show for a guest appearance, just send me a message on the Speakeasy forum group, and yeah, we'll talk about it. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Or if anybody from CIG want to guest on, well, I mean, we could probably find space. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That might be a squeeze, but okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, subscribe and like to us on YouTube. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Take it easy.